Dive into 20 illuminating life insights from Alan Watts' profound talk on overcoming guilt and embracing true happiness. I wonder often if there's any relationship between guilt and gold, that the love of money is the root of evil. If you do a job with the sole purpose of making money, you are absurd, because if money becomes the goal, and it does when you work that way, you begin increasingly to confuse it with happiness or with pleasure. The one way of not doing anything about a situation is feeling guilty about it. Walt Whitman always admired animals because they do not lie awake at night and weep for their sins. You can't learn anything unless you make mistakes. Freedom means basically the freedom to make mistakes, and then not to recriminate with yourself when you do finally realize that it was a mistake. Human behavior at its deepest level is completely harmonious with the order of the universe. The good side has to have the bad side to balance it so that you know that it's good. Those who speak of good behavior without the presence of its opposite, bad behavior, do not understand the great principles of the universe. We Westerners are dedicated to the abolition of evil. When I would say one of the great philosophical questions is, are we going to make it because this is the situation of the cosmos? You can only realize light by the contrast of darkness. You are actually not the ray so much as the source of the ray. That's where you are really, and the source doesn't vanish. At every stage of the universe, you are basically in the same situation for the reason that everybody is basically the divine being working out the panorama of its life in myriads of different ways. From the most minute animalcules right up through all kinds of animals, through human beings of every grade, to the gods, you have a great spectrum. In nature, then, one has this seamless order where every point on it is central. If we solve certain economic problems, for example, and we have a world where people are not committed to drudgery, we shall discover social evil in some new form. It's exactly the same as when you're worried sick about money. And are you going to make the payments on the house and the car and all that insurance? You think, if only I could have a lot more money, I'd be so happy. And then somehow you get it. You start worrying about that with just the same intensity as you had formerly worried about not having enough money. If there isn't a point you see where the light gives up or the radiance gives up, it fills everything and therefore has no way of realizing itself.